Okay, so in this particular video, I'm going to be showing you some more other ways that we can create some interesting patterns for our mandala. Now, it might be almost impossible for me to like create all the kind of ways that we can create mandala pages. Okay, so it is very important that you bring in your creativity when you're creating your own pages. Okay, so I just want to show as many kind of styles that I've learned as possible. Okay, so this is not exactly like a strict rule that you have to always follow. And again, I'm going to be creating a new layer. So creating a new layer, this time around, this kind of pattern is like an inverse of the first kind of pattern that you learned, or the second. Okay, so we want to create our brush tool, and we want to select a very nice looking brush. So let's just use this. So now, instead of you creating a centerpiece and then having the edges filled from the background, this is going to be like an inverse. Okay, so you're going to be creating something like this, having this guy around here, also having this guy around here. So okay, so for the purpose of this particular video, I'm not creating these ones on a different layer. So the next one, I might decide to create them on a different layer because I just feel they should be on the same layer. So let me create a new layer, and then I'm going to be having another pattern. So let's see another nice pattern. This is not nice. Oh, this is Bart. Terrible. So I'm looking for a very nice pattern. Okay, so let's just make do with this guy. So for these other guys, I'm also going to be clicking right here and right here. So I don't want it to overlap, although I can since they are on different layers, but I just want it to be something simple like this. Okay, so now that we have this, the next step will be for you to make these guys have a solid background. Okay, so you want the two of them to have a solid background, and then finally we are going to be creating a pattern behind all this. Okay, so you're going to see what I'm saying in a minute. Now, this is the first one. Let's just turn off the second one. So we want to create a white background here. Again, come to the layer underneath it and create a white solid rectangular background, and change the color to white as usual. Now that you have a white background, select the two and you merge the layers, and select the white outer layers and delete them. Ctrl D, and you can turn off this guy to do the same for this guy. And again, you come to the layer just beneath this guy. Now this is the guy that we're doing now. Let's go to this guy and then change your tool to the rectangle tool. Draw the rectangle, change its color to white. Once its color has been changed to white, you can select the two layers now and merge the layers together. Once they are merged, activate your quick selection tool, select the white outer part and delete. And okay, so once we switch these two on, you can see what we have. Now, what this means is that the only part that is solid is around the flowers. All these outer parts are still transparent. Now, what you want to do now is to create a general background pattern under these two guys that is going to fill up all the extra white spaces. Again, like I said in the last video, this is not a must. You don't always have to fill in the extra white spaces. We're going to be looking at some other interesting designs that are going to be better than us just covering the entire pages. And we can come here, we can go ahead to maybe create. Okay, let's just use this guy for the sake of this particular video. Okay, so we want to create it to be so big, and it's going to be radiating from the center, and you want it to be just under this guy. So we create a new layer for it. Okay, now we have a new layer, and we are going to be clicking right here, and you can see what we have, although it's not really looking nice because of some of the patterns that we use that have some fine edges, which creates this sort of intersection effect, but it's still not bad. So this is another way of creating your pattern. You have a general background underneath, and then you have these edges overlaying it, which are solid. Okay, so and that will be all for this particular video, and you can bring in your creativity, mix different patterns, as long as you're not creating the exact same pattern over and over again. So you can do as many patterns as you want, make sure that you practice, and I'm sure that by the time you create several of these kind of background, you'll be able to like create just about anything that you want to. Okay, that will be all for this video. Thank you very much, and let's see what you have in the next video as well.